Today's thought is a person who feels appreciated will always do more than what is expected. Good morning, students. Welcome back. I hope all of you are safe and fit at home, studying well, and completing your work on time. This video is for the students of class 8th, subject English, and today we shall cover one chapter of our textbook, that is Honeydew. This is our chapter number 4. And the name of the chapter is Bepin Choudhury's Lapse of Memory. It is written by none other than the famous writer Satyajit Ray. This is my lecture number 2 of the same chapter. This chapter is taken from Honeydew book. Students, the first two parts of the chapters are already covered in lecture number 1 of the same chapter in the previous video. Today in this video, we shall read the remaining two parts of the chapter along with the detailed explanation and word meanings. After then, we shall discuss the homework solution of the homework which was assigned you in lecture number 1 of chapter 4, that is Bepin Choudhury's Lapse of Memory. Now let's again have a look on the objectives of the chapter. Number 1. To create interest of book reading among students. Number 2. To enable students to read the books with correct pronunciation. Number 3. To enable students to increase their vocabulary. Number 4. To enable students to solve the comprehension. Number 5. To enable students to solve the questions. Let's discuss the key points of the chapter. At 7:30, Bepin Babu's servant told him that Mr. Chunnilal wants to meet you, which is so urgent. Chunni asked him for money, but Bepin Babu refused. Besides, he began to confirm about the incident of Ranchi and his last job just to verify if he was losing his memory or not. But Chunnilal also replied positively. Then Bepin Babu called Dr. Paresh Chanda for the treatment. So these are the key points of the chapter. To know about further story, let's read the part 3 and detailed summary along with the word meanings. After lunchtime, Bepin Babu realized that he couldn't possibly carry on sitting at his desk and working. This had never happened in the 25 years he had been with the firm. He had a reputation for being a tireless, conscientious worker, but today his head was in a whirl. Means Bepin Babu had been in that firm for 25 years. For the first time, he was feeling sick. He couldn't carry on, means not able to continue working. He had a reputation of conscientious, means careful and correct worker. Today, his head was in a whirl, means here confused and unable to think clearly. Back home at 2:30, Bepin Babu lay down in bed and tried to gather his wits. He knew that it was possible to lose one's memory through an injury in the head, but he didn't know of a single instance of someone remembering everything except one particular incident, and a fairly recent and significant one at that. He had always wanted to go to Ranchi. To have gone there, done things and not to remember was something utterly impossible. Means Bepin Babu got back at 2:30 p.m. and tried to gather his wits together. Means make an effort to become calm and think clearly. As per him, head injury can cause loss of memory, but that happened to him recently. He thought it was impossible to forget a visit to Ranchi as he always wanted to go there. At 7:30, Bipin Babu's servant came and announced, Chunni Babu, sir, says it is very important. Bipin Babu knew that Chunni had come for Chunni Lal been at school with him. He had been having a rough time lately and had been coming to see him about a job. Having a rough time means having a lot of problems. Bipin Babu knew it was not possible to do anything for him and in fact told him so. But Chunni kept turning up like a bad penny. Turning up like a bad penny means appearing at a place where one is not welcome. Bipin Babu sent word that not only was it not possible for me to see Chunni now, but not in several weeks. But as soon as the servant stepped out of the room, it struck Bipin Babu that Chunni might remember something about the 58 trip. There was no harm in asking him. Means Chunnilal confirms his fears. At 7:30 p.m., servant informed about Chunnilal's visit. Bipin Babu refused to meet him. They were at school together. Now Chunnilal was having a rough time. He wanted Bipin Babu's help about a job. Bipin Babu knew he could not do anything and told him so. Yet Chunnilal kept pressing. But it stuck in Bipin Babu's mind that he might know about 1958 trip. There was no harm to ask him. Bipin Babu hurried down means done quickly or came down quickly. The stairs and into the living room. Chunni was about to leave, but seeing Bipin Babu appear, he turned round hopefully. Bipin Babu did not beat about the bush. Did not beat about the bush means came straight to the point. Listen, Chunni, I want to ask you something. You have a good memory, and you have been seeing me off and on. Off and on means now and then for a long time. Just throw your mind back and tell me. Throw your mind back means think back and recall a past event. Did I go to Ranchi in 58? Chunni said 58. It must have been 58 or was 59. You are sure that I did go to Ranchi? Chunni's look of amazement means a feeling of great surprise, was not unfixed with worry. Means Bipin Babu came to Chunni hurriedly, and Chunni, who was about to leave, turned around hopefully. Bipin Babu did not beat about the bush, means came straight to the point. He asked Chunni to recall past times and remember if he had been to Ranchi in 58, as Chunni had been meeting him from long time. Chunni looked at Bipin with amazement, means feeling of great surprise and worry. Did I go? Do you remember clearly? Chunni sat down on the sofa, fixed Bipin Babu with a long hard stare and said, Bipin, have you taken to drugs or something? As far as I know, you had a clean record where such things were concerned. I know old friendships don't mean much to you, but at least you had a good memory. You can't really mean that you have forgotten about the Ranchi trip. Bipin Babu had to return away from Chunni's incredulous stare. Incredulous means not willing. Do you remember what my last job was? Asked Chunnilal. Of course, you worked in a travel agency. Means Chunni asked Bipin Babu if Bipin Babu had doubts about a trip when he is having excellent memory and he even remembers Chunnilal's last job at travel agency. You remember that and you don't remember that it was I who fixed your railway booking for Ranchi. I went to the station to see you off. One of the fans in your compartment was not working. I got an electrician to fix it. Have you forgotten everything? Whatever is the matter with you? You don't look too well. You know? Means Chunnilal then added that he himself went to see him off and fixed his railway booking for Ranchi and helped with the fans of his compartment. He expressed great concern about Bipin Babu's health. Chunni's look of amazement was not unmixed with worry. Bipin Babu had to return away from Chunni's incredulous stare. He sighed and shook his head. I have been working too hard, he said at last. That must be the reason. Must see about consulting a specialist. Means Chunnilal's look was of amazement. Bipin Babu turned away from Chunni as he sighed. He replied that the reason must be he too much hard work from long time and he must consult a specialist. Doubtless it was Bipin's condition which made Chunnilal leave without mentioning anything about a job. Means it was no doubt that Bipin Babu's condition was not good and hence Chunnilal left from there without mentioning a single word about the job as he was greatly concerned about Bipin Babu's health. Paresh Chanda was a young physician with a pair of bright eyes and a sharp nose. He became thoughtful when he heard about Bipin Babu's symptoms. Means the specialist. Paresh Chanda was a young physician with attractive look. He was worried when heard about Bipin Babu's health. Look, Dr. Chanda, said Bipin Babu desperately. You must cure me of this horrible illness. I can't tell you how it is affecting my work. Means he asked Dr. Chanda to cure, means to make healthy him as this horrible illness is affecting his work gently or greatly. Dr. Chanda shook his head. You know what, Mr. Choudhury, he said, I have never had to deal with a case such as yours. Means Dr. Chanda was puzzled as he had never encountered such a case. Frankly, this is quite outside my field of experience, but I have one suggestion. I don't know if it will work, but it is worth a try. It can do no harm. Means he had never experienced such a thing or case, but he had a suggestion for Bipin Babu. He was not sure if it worked, but still he could try as it would be harmless. Bipin Babu leaned forward anxiously. Leaned means moved. As far as I can make out, said Dr. Chanda, and I think you are of the same opinion. You must have been to Ranchi, but due to some unknown reason, the entire episode has slipped out of your mind. What I suggest is that you go to Ranchi once again. The sight of the place may remind you of your trip. Means Bipin Babu leaned forward anxiously. Dr. Chanda said that due to some reason, entire trip is slipped out of his mind. To remember the things, he must visit that place as the sight of that place could help him to remind the incident. This is not possible. More than that I cannot do at the moment. I am prescribing a nerve tonic and a tranquilizer. Sleep is essential or the symptoms will get more pronounced. Means Dr. Chanda prescribed him a nerve tonic and a tranquilizer. Tranquilizer means a medicine to reduce stress and anxiety, as sleep is necessary or symptoms could worse. Bipin Babu felt something what better the next morning. After breakfast, he rang up his office, gave some instruction, and then procured a first class ticket for Ranchi for the same evening. Means Bipin Babu felt better the next morning. After breakfast, he called in the office and instructed about work. Then, for the same evening, acting upon doctor's advice, he procured means got with a little difficulty first class ticket to Ranchi. So this was the story of part 3. So now let's read the story of part 4 along with detailed summary and word meanings to know about the story in detail. Getting off the train at Ranchi next morning, he realized at once that he had never been there before. Means Bipin Babu at Ranchi. Next morning, Bipin Babu reached at Ranchi station. He got off the train. He suddenly realized that the place was new to him and he had never visited there. He got out or came out of the station, took a taxi and drove round the town for a while. He realized that the streets, the buildings, the hotels, the bazaars, the Moravadi hills, with none of these had he the slightest acquaintance. Acquaintance means a slight knowledge of something or somebody. Means he got out of the station, took a taxi and drove round the town for some time. He realized that none of the areas are known to him. Now, I am sure, or he was sure, that I have never been here before. So would a trip to the Hundru or Hudru Falls still help? He did not believe so, but at the same time. Means he was sure that he hadn't visited those places. He was in doubt if the trip to Hudru or Hundru Falls would help him or not. He did not wish to leave, or I don't wish to leave with the feeling that he hadn't tried enough. So he arranged for a car and left for Hudru or Hundru in the afternoon. Means Bipin Babu did not believe to be there ever, but at the same time he did not want to have any doubt. So he wanted to try. He then arranged a car to Hundru or Hudru and left in the afternoon to verify his memory. At 5 o'clock the same afternoon in Hudru, two Gujarati gentlemen from a group of picnickers discovered Bipin Babu lying unconscious beside a boulder. Means at 5 o'clock the same afternoon in Hudru, two gentlemen who were from Gujarat and were there for picnic. They found out that Bipin Babu was lying unconscious beside a boulder, means a large rock. When he came round, the first thing he said was, I am finished. There is no hope left for me now. Means when Bipin Babu came around, means regained consciousness, he said at once that he was finished and had no hope left for him. Next morning, Bipin Babu was back in Calcutta. He realized that there was truly no hope for him. Soon he would lose everything. He will to work, his confidence, his ability, his balance of mind. Means Bipin Babu cured. Bipin Babu was back in Calcutta. He thought he would lose his will to work, confidence, ability and mind balance. Was he going to end up in the asylum at? He just couldn't think anymore. He was thinking that his life would end in an asylum, means mental asylum. He was not able to think any more or think any further. Back home, he rang up Dr. Chandra and asked him to come over. Means when Bipin Babu came back home, he called Dr. Chandra. He asked him to come at his home. Then after a shower, he got into bed with an ice bag clamped on his head. Means Bipin Babu took a shower. After that, he clamped an ice bag on his head and got into bed. Clamped means put. Just then the servant brought him a letter which someone had left in the letter box. Means just then the servant brought him a letter from his letter box and gave to Bipin Babu that letter. It was a greenish envelope with his name in red ink on it. Means on this greenish envelope, Bepin Choudhury was written in red ink and it was written as urgent and confidential. In spite of his condition, Bipin Babu had a feeling that he ought to go through the letter. He tore open the envelope and took out the letter. Means, in spite of his bad health, he tore the envelope at one end and opened it and took out the letter and started reading. In the letter, it was written, "Dear Bipin, I had no idea that affluence means having a lot of money, would bring about the kind of change in you that it has done. Was it so difficult for you to help out an old friend down on his luck? I have no money, so my resources are limited. What I have is imagination, a part of which I use to retribution. Retribution means punishment of your unfeeling behavior. Well, you will be all right again now. A novel I have written is being considered by a publisher. If he likes it enough, it will see me through the next few months. Yours, Chunilal." So, the meaning of the letter is, it was from Chunilal. In his letter, Chunilal had first expressed his bitterness for getting no help from Bipin Babu. Then he frankly told Bipin Babu that his memory was all right. It was his plan in retribution, means punishment against his unfeeling behavior. Then he told Bipin Babu or Bipin Choudhury how he had played a practical joke upon him, means prank upon him or prank on him. This he did with the help of Mr. Ghosh and Dinesh Mukherjee. Now, it was clear to Bipin Babu that he had not really lost his memory. When Dr. Chandra came, Bipin Babu said, "I am fine. It all came back as soon as I got off the train at Ranchi." Then Dr. Chandra said, "A unique case. I shall certainly write about it in medical journal." Medical journal, it is a kind of a newspaper or a report. "But if you are fine, why did you call me?" Means Bipin Babu's lie. When Dr. Chandra came, Bipin Babu told a lie. He said that he had remembered everything on reaching Ranchi railway station. Then Bipin Babu replied, "Well, I have a pain in the hip from a fall I had in Ranchi. If you could prescribe a painkiller." Means he had called him for a painkiller. He had the pain in the hip due to a fall in Ranchi. So, this is the story, or this was the story of the chapter Bipin Choudhury's Lapse of Memory. Students, you have to complete your homework on the basis of the chapter explained by me. And your homework is read chapter 4, that is Bipin Choudhury's Lapse of Memory, and write word meanings highlighted in the video. Based on the understanding of the chapter, write the answers of the questions mentioned in the book Honeydew as page number 67, comprehension check, question number 1 and 2. Page number 69, comprehension check, question number 1 and 2. Page number 69, working with the text, question number 1 to 4. These questions you have to do in your fair notebook. Page number 71 to 73, working with the language, question number 1 to 4. These questions you have to do in your book, not in your fair notebook. Still, many students are not having their Honeydew book with them. So here in this video, I have mentioned your homework in detail. Comprehension check, page number 67, question number 1 is, who was Chunni Lal? What did he want from Bepin Babu? Question number 2 is, why was Dr. Chanda puzzled? What was unusual about Bepin Babu's loss of memory? Comprehension check, page number 69, question number 1 is, had Bepin Babu really lost his memory or forgotten all about a trip to Ranchi? Question number 2 is, why do you think Chunni Lal did what he did? Chunni Lal says he has no money. What is it that he does have? Working with the text, page number 69. Question number 1 is, the author describes Bepin Babu as a serious and hard-working man. What evidence can you find in the story to support this? Question number 2 is, why did Bepin Babu change his mind about meeting Chunni Lal? What was the result of this meeting? Question number 3 is, Bepin Babu lost consciousness at Choudhury Falls. What do you think was the reason for this? Question number 4 is, how do you think Bepin Babu reacted when he found out that Chunni Lal had tricked him? Working with the language, page number 71 to 73. Question number 1 is, look at these sentences. He had to buy at least 5 books to last him through the week. Bepin had to ask Chunni to leave. Had is used to show that it was very important or necessary for Bepin Babu to do something. He had no choice. We can also use have to, has to in the same way. Fill in the blanks below using had to, have to or has to. Number 1. I dash cut my hair every month. Number 2. We dash go for swimming lessons last year. Number 3. She dash tell the principal the truth. Number 4. They dash take the baby to the doctor. Number 5. We dash complain to the police about the noise. Number 6. Romit dash finish his homework before he could come out to play. Number 7. I dash repair my cycle yesterday. Question number 2 is, here are a few idioms that you will find in the story. Look for them in the dictionary in the following way. First, arrange them in the order in which you would find them in a dictionary. Clue: an idiom is usually listed under the first noun, verb, adjective or adverb in it. Ignore articles or prepositions in the idiom. To help you, we have put in bold the word under which you must look for the idiom in the dictionary. Number 1. Act from close quarters. Here close is adjective. Number 2. Break into a smile. Break is verb. Look under break into something. Number 3. Carry on. Carry is here verb. Number 4. Have a clean record. Clean record means you may find related meanings under both these words. Number 5. Beat about the bush. Beat is here verb. Now refer to your dictionary and find out what they mean. Question number 3 is, Study the sentences in the columns below. A, number 1 is I saw this movie yesterday. Number B, I have seen this movie already. A, B part is Bipin Babu worked here for a week last year. B, Bipin Babu has worked here since 2003. A, C part is Chunnilal wrote to a publisher last week. B, Chunnilal has written to a publisher. A, fourth part is I visited Ranchi once long ago. B, I have visited Ranchi once before. Compare the sentences in the two columns, especially the verb forms. Answer the following questions about each pair of sentences. Number 1. Which column tells us that Bipin Babu is still working at the same place? Number 2. Which column suggests that Chunnilal is now waiting for a reply from the publisher? Number 3. Which column suggests that the person still remembers the movie he saw? Number 4. Which column suggests that the experience of visiting Ranchi is still fresh in the speaker's mind? Question number 4 is given below are jumbled sentences. Working in groups, rearrange the words in each sentence to form correct sentences. You will find that each sentence contains an idiomatic expression that you have come across in the lesson. Underline the idiom and write down its meaning. Then use your dictionary to check the meaning. One sentence has been worked out for you as an example. Jumbled sentence. Vanished. The car seemed to into thin half air. Answer is the car seemed to have vanished into thin air. Idiom vanished into thin air means disappeared or vanished in a mysterious way. Number 1. Stop and tell me beating about. What do you want? The bush. Here you have to write down the answer and idiom. Number 2. Don't pay. If you attention, you might the wrong train to the announcement board. Number 3. The villagers tried the crime on the young woman to pin. Number 4. Bipin Babu orders to telling people under loved doctors eat early that he was. Number 5. The students, the teacher, his eyebrows when said that all their lessons raised they had revised. Students, in this video, we shall discuss the homework solution of the homework which was assigned you in lecture number 1 of chapter 4, that is Bepin Choudhury's Lapse of Memory. Students, we have already discussed about the author, objectives, key points and detailed summary of part 1 and 2 along with word meanings. And I have assigned you homework which was to be done by you on the basis of your understanding. And it was given in lecture number 1 of chapter 4, that is Bepin Choudhury's Lapse of Memory. And your homework was read chapter 4, that is Bepin Choudhury's Lapse of Memory, and write word meanings highlighted in the video. Based on the understanding of the chapter, write the answers of the questions mentioned in the book Honeydew as page number 61, comprehension check, question number 1 to 3. Page number 64, comprehension check, question number 1 to 4. Now, let's discuss the word meanings of the chapter. Number 1 is idle chat, means unnecessary, routine conversation. Number 2, meek, means quiet, humble. Number 3, insane, means mentally ill. Number 4, utter disbelief, means complete surprise. Number 5, head reeled, means shocked and confused. Number 6 is losing his mind, means becoming mad. Number 7 is gone nuts, means gone crazy or mad. Number 8 is getting into other people's hair, means interfering with and annoying people. Number 9 is sleuthing, means investigating an event. Number 10 is felt his head swimming, means feeling dizzy. So these are the word meanings. So now let's discuss the question answers in detail. Comprehension check, page number 61. Question number 1 is, why did the man stare at Bepin Babu in disbelief? The answer of the question is, the man stared at Bepin Babu in disbelief because Bepin Babu did not recognize him, even though he was sure that he knew him and had met him in Ranchi. Question number 2 is, where did Bepin Babu say he went in October 58? The answer of the question is, Bepin Babu said that he spent the holidays doing puja in 58 with a friend in Kanpur. Question number 3 is, mention any 3 or more things that Parimal Ghosh knew about Bepin Babu. The answer of the question is, Parimal Ghosh knew the following about Bepin Babu. Number 1, he had no children. Number 2, he had lost his wife 10 years ago. Number 3, his only brother had died insane, which was why he did not want to visit the mental hospital in Ranchi. So now let's discuss the question answers of comprehension check, which is on page number 64. Question number 1 is, why did Bepin Babu worry about what Parimal Ghosh had said? The answer of the question is, Bepin Babu was taken aback to hear the intimate details about his life from Parimal Ghosh. There seemed no reason why he should tell a lie. He wondered if he really had forgotten about his visit to Ranchi. Question number 2 is, how did he try to decide who was right, his memory or Parimal Ghosh? The answer of the question is, in order to resolve the puzzle about his visit to Ranchi, Bepin Babu decided to contact Dinesh Mukherjee. Parimal had said that Dinesh Mukherjee was also in Ranchi at that time. Question number 3 is, why did Bipin Babu hesitate to visit Mr. Mukherjee? Why did he finally decide to phone him? The answer of the question is, Bipin Babu hesitated to visit Mr. Mukherjee, thinking that it would be ridiculous if he had really visited Ranchi. Mukherjee would think Bipin Babu had gone mad. Hence, Bipin Babu finally decided to phone him to know about the trip. Question number 4 is, what did Mr. Mukherjee say? Did it comfort Bipin Babu or add to his worries? The answer of the question is, Mukherjee didn't reply clearly, but he said that he had been to Ranchi twice. He was not sure about the trip. Bipin Babu exactly wanted to know. It made Bipin Babu more puzzled. He lost his appetite. So, this is the end of the lecture. Students, your homework will be uploaded on L1corect website under homework column at 9 am. Your homework solution will be uploaded on L1corect under homework solution at 9 am sharp. Students, if you like our videos, please hit on the like button and don't forget to subscribe our channel. Thank you and have a nice day.